The number you have dialed is not in service at this time.
So, hi, my name's Cleo Notcutt. I am sitting on the couch for some trash talk. I'd say, one thing, if it's not dance specific, it can actually be dance specific. For me, females are okay, it goes along everything else that I want to say with social media. Social media is something super dangerous. I find it unbelievably dangerous. I was brought up without social media. I was in the age of, Facebook came out when you were like in high school, you know. So it doesn't mean that we shouldn't put out our point of views, but it's dangerous to sometimes like put out what you feel when it really like can damage other people or not encourage other people. Sometimes we forget that we have our own journeys. And everyone else has their own journeys, and sometimes we don't know it. We think we know it because we see what we see on social media, which is often a lie or a little like snippet into what is actually happening. So sometimes you don't know other people's journeys. So in this case, there's a lot of females who proclaim in the world that they're standing by other females, yet when you're in person with people, you really feel something different. So for me, as much as I understand that this is not everyone. I just feel like there's a great bunch of females who are saying that they're pushing something for a female movement, but yet when you're alongside any female, if your movement is pushing that, anyone you're around should really be, any female that you're around should really be someone that you're pushing, not any specific female. I just find so many females are trashing each other actually, and like that's hurtful, and I see it so much. I find like there are females that don't share love, they just share their thoughts, and actually in the end their thoughts are trashing other females. So that, I don't know, I just have like a problem with that sometimes, because I'm like, sometimes I see a lot of talk online. And that's not just females. My other point of view, my other thing is talk online that I get like really passionate about, because I'm like, there's so much you can say about what you think other people should be like as a dancer or as a whatever, or how they should do this and how they should do that, where I'm like, we should sometimes just get away from that and like focus on who we are as a person, who you are as a mother, as a father, as a brother, as a sister, as a friend, as a person, as your values and your morals. Like, who are you for yourself before you're going online and telling other people how they should be, how they should do this, how they should run a business, how they should train, how they should do a competition, how they should run a thing, how they should this, how they should dance, how they should act, how they should sing, how they should this. Because I understand like there are times where you are pushing information and knowledge. I understand that is definitely valued, and that's great, and social media is great for that because we can always gain it and find it everywhere, wherever we want to research. But I'm trashing trash talk, basically. I'm trashing the way that people are trash each other online and not realize that there's so many things hidden down inside you as a person. And I say this for myself, like I'll sometimes go, put this online, this is what I feel. And I'm like, is this valid right now? Like, am I being a good person to myself, to my fiance, to my best friend who probably hasn't heard from me in ages and like is going through so much, but I don't even know, but I have so much to say online about what other people are going through. I just find there's like such social media ends up being this weird mirror, this black mirror that people can turn on other people and not realize that there's a lot of damaged people out there, and we need to like come together and love them. And that's what I feel with some females. Some females, not in my industry, yes in my industry, but not only in my industry at all. I just feel as a female, we find it harder to get approval from females, which is crazy, because if we're pushing a female movement, why should we feel hard? It's really difficult to get approval from females. And I'm not saying that you get approval from guys just because you are a female. That's not true. It's just somehow, I know when I was young, when I was like about 12 or so, or even younger, when I used to walk around the shop with my mom, like there was always the thing when I walked past another young girl, you'd almost just naturally, I don't know how it was, but you just look at each other and look at each other up and down, and you just dislike each other for no reason. And I remember that clearly when I was young. I was like, why is this a thing? Why do I not like you? Or why am I looking at you? Or why are we looking at each other up and down? We have nothing against each other. I don't know your story. I don't know anything. And that was something that I think, like, I know a lot of other females experience that when they were young. It's just something that happened, but it becomes something as an adult that we do in person. And we say, like, oh, pushing females. And then when you're in person, it's a different story. So there are a lot of young, passionate people that are looking for a lot of females' approval and finding it really hard and really discouraged. So I just be like, stop that. Show love, hear people's stories out, reach out to them. As well as in our industry, I'd also say, I had a conversation once with Paco, actually, and Paul. And we were talking about a specific dance in Cape Town, and we were concerned. His name came up, and we were just concerned. He's a young dancer, concerned about this person. And then our conversation turned in that moment as to, we were concerned about the approach they were taking, and oh, why is this dancer doing this and this? And I realized that this conversation, yes, because we are passionate about our industry, us three people having this conversation can be toxic to one person that's not there, the person we're talking about. And in the end, we have a responsibility, which we all did feel, all three of us, to do something about it. And we did. Like, we literally had to turn a conversation to challenging it. And I was saying to them, who's going to be the person to tell this guy what we're saying about them? Because they need guidance right now. Because what we're seeing about them and their journey, we're seeing like, oh, why are they doing this? They're teaching workshops, doing that. Oh, they just started. Whereas I'm like, they need us to reach out and really like talk to them, help them, guide them, bring them alongside us, be like, yo, I'm doing this, come and work shadow me, do something like that. And I just believe if that's the talk that we can have in our industry, in amongst influential dancers or people who are doing certain things, then the younger generation will really feel like they can reach out to us, because they don't feel like we're approachable sometimes. And I've heard that people are like, oh, you're intimidating and not approachable. I'm like, okay, that's weird, because if you get to know me, I'm like, I'm not like that, but I understand why. I do understand why, and I can be intimidating. So in that case, like, I have a responsibility as a young female, as a dancer, as a professional in this industry, to reach out to younger aspiring dancers, like we did after that conversation. And we've seen the work of this dancer like grow so much, and it's dope. But I'm glad that our conversation turned around to the point of what are we gonna do about it. So that's like a bit of encouragement from me, but it's also like a let's not be trash about that.